Hey guys, it's Caleb Menard again, and here's another disc golf disc review. Today we'll be reviewing the DX Dart by Innova. Before we begin, I want to point out, my dart is not domey. Some darts are domey, some darts aren't. My friend has an R Pro dart that is very flat. My dart, when I bought it brand new, very domey, so I ended up flattening it, which is a process that I'll talk about and explain and maybe even do a tutorial for in another video. But needless to say, when I flattened it, it didn't affect the flight. It merely made it easier for me to grip. But before we get into my review of the dart, let's go into the stats of it. It is a Speed 3 putter, putt and approach disc. For glide, I think it's 3 glide, I'm not certain on that one, but I know that it is 0 and 0 on turn face, so this will be a very straight disc. And for putting, I would say, yeah, it's a straight disc, but I only have one disc as a putter. I like using putters because I know that I can smash a drive with them or smash an approach, and they won't go that far because they're such low speeds. And a lot of putters I can do that on. Putters like the Rhino, putters like the Wedge, putters like even the AVR. This putter, I have had the hardest time doing anything but putting, and I even had a hard time doing that. I'm planning on getting rid of this disc, honestly, because I am quite disappointed. I had a dart back in the day. It worked a lot better. It still wasn't quite the disc that I wanted, but it was a lot better than this thing. I've noticed a lot of inconsistency with the dart in general. When I smash a drive with this thing, the weirdest thing happens for a backhand. It starts wobbling like crazy, and then it just spikes an anhyzer. Even if I try to hyzer flip it with a little bit of power, not even full power, it'll still do that really weird wobble thing, and then spike into an anhyzer. So I'm not too impressed. Forehands, I mean, it's a putter, for goodness sake. Unless you're throwing something super overstable like the Pig or the Rhino, you're not going to be able to throw a forehand with a putter. So I don't expect much. But let's go on to the real purpose of this thing. It's a putter. So, how does it putt? Depending on your putting style, this could be a good disc or a bad disc. It's a bad disc for me because I do anhyzer putting. So I count on my putter getting a lot of distance. This thing drops. Now, if you're really looking for a good heavy putter that you know is going to go straight, you might like the dart. But honestly, you have to give this guy a lot of torque. And I like giving my discs only a little bit of spin because for me personally, I tend to lose accuracy if I give it too much torque or spin. And if you don't, this guy drops like crazy. I mean, it's DX. It is 175 grams, but my wedge is 175 grams, and I have my Star Wedge, and it flies so much farther than this thing on a putt. So, I mean, it's not the worst disc in the world, but it just doesn't work out for me. And I've noticed that, in general, the darts that I've used and the darts that I've seen, very inconsistent, and it just does weird things on backhands. So, what do I think about it? What am I going to give it? How many stars am I going to give it? I'm going to have to give it a 6 out of 10 stars, just because of the inconsistency, the mere fact that there are some that are domey and some that are flat. I mean, I shouldn't have had to have flattened mine, honestly. The weird thing that it does when I backhand it, and the fact that it just drops. It doesn't have the glide that you expect from a putter, unfortunately, or that I expect. And that pretty much concludes my review of the DX Dart by Innova.